Welcome to Monday Club. Now, we've got a new main sponsor. It is expertelectrical.co.uk, the UK's #1 electrical online wholesaler. Now, they do everything you need, domestic, commercial, industrial. If you're branching out, whatever you need, they've got it. Next day delivery. You know, they might even revolutionise the way you do business. Check them out, expertelectrical.co.uk, and use discount code Bundy10. On with the show. Hello and welcome to Monday Club. We're back again. Very excited. We're not low energy this week. I'm not having it. I broke out the rum because obviously last week there was no energy in the house. We've just had to endure a boring Nick story.
And about 5 retakes.
Really interesting topic to finish out on at the end, and I cannot wait to broach this subject.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Right, I'll start off. Mark, how's your week been, mate?
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Nick. I had a great week. What going on in the business? Yeah, sure you can. A lot going on in the business. Rewires kicking off, and some EV charger designs that I've been working on. So 22 kilowatt ones, getting approval from DNOs to make sure that we're actually allowed to install them, making sure that the OLED applications have been done properly.
Don't just go over that. Remember, I'm dumb. Yeah. So you're talking about 22 kilowatt chargers. That's obviously the amount they draw from the grid, like at peak. What's the difference between them and your average Joe one?
Essentially, the three-phase, so they're drawing power through all three phases, and because of that, these are going on commercial, industrial retail parks, so it's not just one 22 kilowatt charger that they want. There's a few, and obviously the local DNO will only have a certain supply cable coming into that park, so they need to check that they're happy with the new loading arrangements. So although I would like to install lots of them and get paid for it, it's not as simple as that. So it's not like when you're just going to start installing extra LED lights or data points in an office or something. You've got other considerations as well. So there's all that to sort out. Then there's the cable calcs as well. So there's all. I was
going to ask you what size cable you're going for.
Yeah, there's a few different ones. So there's some that are quite close by to the main intake, and they're 6 mil. Some of the other ones where we're running quite a long distance away from the buildings themselves, and obviously they need to be larger conductors. It's different on every single install. Yeah.
So go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, will that be yourself personally working out all the information that you need to carry all the work out? You're like the top guy working this information out and designing it and planning it? Or are you going to somebody else to do that?
No, I would do it, but I use software. So I use a product called Electrical OM, and you can kind of put in all of the arrangements for the supply intake, the distances, and it'll give you a cable. Obviously, you want to check that yourself as well, just to be sure. But generally speaking, that's what I use to do the cable calcs. But to be honest, that's the easiest side of all of the EV stuff.
The location of all of them, would you be deciding that? Or do you have like drawings?
No, that's client-led, so they'll decide where they want them in the car parks or on the units themselves. So there's a few where they've got these pop-up gyms that are springing up everywhere now in industrial units where they've had a change of use, and as part of that, they have to install EV charge points. So there's a load of those going in. But the hardest part of all of it is generally the admin side. So it's dealing with the DNOs and dealing with the OLED grants, because that's what a lot of people don't realise. The domestic OLED grants are one thing. The workplace ones are something else entirely, and making sure you've got all your ducks in a row and all your paperwork in order so you get paid as the installer. It's you as kind of running that credit line to the customers. You've got to be absolutely on the money, because you can cost yourself a packet if you get it wrong.
Yeah, because OLED is your customer pays you with minus the, let's say, 500 quid or whatever, and then you claim it back off the government. So if you don't get all the paperwork, you're not getting the extra money back.
Absolutely. And in the domestic market, that's caused a lot of people headaches, because sometimes it's taken over 90 days. And even if you've made a small error on the paperwork, say you've got a postcode wrong, or you've entered the wrong serial number or something, they'll reject the entire claim. Or they want to see pictures as well. They used to want to see a lot of pictures of the installations. If you've not done a particular thing, it's all human reviewed. So it's not going through a computer system. There's an actual person looking at every single claim. And if you're missing something, and it was causing a huge nightmare, I think OLED have promised to get it more computerized, so it's a more automated system, because obviously they're processing a lot of these now. Before it was, it was a handful. Now there's loads. So Yeah, it's an interesting side of it. So that's more my concern. I'm not too worried about the actual practicalities of the installation. It's making sure we get paid at the end of it properly.
Mark, just quickly, check your microphone. There is some sort of feedback going on when you...
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Is there? How's that? Any different?
No, it's worse.
That's worse.
Is it? How about that?
Talk
Any better?
No.
Hello?
Every time you talk, it goes... Zzz.
Really? What's going on?
Sounds like the mic.
Carry on. Go on to something else, and I'll try and sort it out.
See, I
How
find
was
this...
your week, Nick?
My week. Cheers, Kim. Thank you. Well, today is obviously Monday, and Monday is normally unit day, but it's not for me because I've worked every single day now for 2 weeks. But Saturday just went by, fuse board, and then me and Adam went and did a bathroom, which was nice for a friend. And then Sunday, fuse board. And then today, Adam's at college, so I was out by myself, and I went and wired up to my house this morning, and then went across and started my first kitchen that I have done in about 6 months. It was only a little one, and I come at home covered in dust, and I loved every second of it. I was pulling the ceiling down, I was using a chaser, I was putting boxes in, I was pulling new cables, and I was like, this is it. I've got it back. And then I looked in my diary for tomorrow. Yes.
Oh.
But to start on Monday off like that, I've been buzzing today all day. It's been nice.
Didn't I come up with a good idea today, though, Nick?
Yes, you did. That's so funny because when I rang you back, were you on the phone to Mark, and did you put the phone down to speak to me, like he said?
No, I didn't know.
That was so.
I bet
So everyone listening. So in our group chat for us four, Mark was like, "Sam's just rang me and put the phone down, probably because Nick's ringing him." And
I have done it to Kimmy before. If Nick,
You've done it to me too many times.
I've got to go. I've got a customer this night, it's Nick.
No, he wouldn't say that. He would tell me, "Oh, somebody I called before I called you actually called me back. So you're like the third from the last in the queue. So see ya."
That's about right.
But I had a good idea. Are we gonna do this or what?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, shout about it. Yeah.
Kimmy, what are you doing next Monday?
As far as I'm aware, nothing.
There you go.
Wait, let me check my diary. I'm joking. What is next Monday? Is it May already, or is it still April?
It's May Day next week. Bank holiday, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I work Mondays anyway.
Nick needs a hand. You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Come up, give us a hand for a day. Obviously, I'll pay you. I won't do an Adam, and yeah, give us a hand. We'll show you how we do in the ICR or whatever, and then we'll have a mess around in the unit, burn some stuff.
You're welcome.
Sounds awesome. I missed this in the group chat. How?
Well, it was a conversation between me and Nick. I'm the father of the group. Nick's the mother of the group. So we had to work it out where our kids go.
That's so cool. Sam, are you going to be able to pick me up then, yeah?
I ain't going.
No, Sam's not going.
So just me and you, Nick?
Yeah, and Adam, maybe. Yeah, Sam was like, Kimmy wants to get out there and try new things with new people. And I was like, well, who else better to ask?
Lovely. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. You know, I'm not just a dick all the time. So yeah, I had a good week.
Yeah, Sam, how's your week?
Yeah.
Well,
boring. Right. Anyway.
Listen, I had a good week. I got sent a freebie this week.
What'd you get?
I got sent this, and I don't usually do stuff like this. So don't send me free stuff and think you're going to get it on the show because you ain't. But
still sending free stuff. That's what he wants to know.
No, I don't. I hate it, but I love these.
The Armega ones. Yeah, I've got the CK version. They're really good.
Yeah, Armega better.
Yeah,
they are so good.
They're wicked for metal, and I found this brilliant for metal. Don't cut plastic with it because it doesn't do the same thing. It just clogs the spring up, and then you still got to bend it out with a screwdriver.
Yeah, I don't think it is for plastic though. It says for metal. So
you normally work with metal and stuff, anyways, don't you?
And because I'm not a lowly house basher, I cut a lot of metal trunking and stuff, and I'm super pleased with them. Like I was like, oh, you know, like it's not super expensive or anything, but it's just them things that you just love to have in your bag.
Yeah.
As a commercial and industrial spark, really, you don't buy your own stuff like this, but to have it in my bag, rather than going and getting one off the.
What do they have? Like a stores room that you just go and help yourself to?
Well, not help yourself because everyone takes a liberty and just nicks everything.
I was going to say people just be empty.
Yeah.
If I find the stores room, if I find the stores where they keep the drill bits and the quarter bits and all that sort of stuff, I'm gonna take the lot. Brilliant.
I was about to say you'd probably do that.
Yeah,
I bought this earlier. I bought these earlier. Adam, I've seen them floating around ages on Instagram. And
not plugging stuff on here, man.
Says you. Yeah, I've just bought this. But I've seen everyone had them. I think Amy had one as well. But they're little holster to go on the bags. And then just for second fixing. But I've never bought them. I've looked at them and gone, oh yeah, they're all right. And then Adam really wanted one. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll get one. I obviously forgot all about it. And then I woke up in the morning to an Amazon link. 2 of these, Nick. Oh, okay.
They are good though. They are good. Yeah. Anyway, back to Armeg. Thank you, Armeg. I love them. Oh, don't send them to Kim, Nick, or Mark because I'm the important one here.
Yes, you are.
Gosh, you are. How's my mic sound now? Any better?
No.
No.
It's still getting back. Just unplug it, mate, and plug it back in. Turn it on and off again. That always works.
Try that. Any better?
I don't know. No. You have to talk. You can't just say any better and then look and hope that noise comes.
Well, I was hoping you were going to say, yeah, it's fixed. It sounds loads better.
It's not great, but we're just going to have to roll with it because...
anything's better than Sam's from last week, so don't worry.
Yes, it is.
It was actually quite good because last week Sam was really annoying, so I was quite glad that the mic wasn't... Yeah. It was just...
All I heard
we just need to get you a new webcam then, Kim, and then we'll be fine.
all I heard was whine, 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 moan, moan, moan. That's all I hear from Kimmy. But, listen, so I've had... last week was quite a good week, actually, in terms of the work I was doing. So it started off bad, but then ended up good. So started off under the floors again, as I have been. Crawling through the void underneath the floor. My fat ass. Who would send me underneath the floor? Anyway, I got harpooned by Japanese whalers. Well, I didn't, but I might as well have done, because basically they thought I was Moby Dick. No. I got stuck on a bit of stud that sticks through the bottom of the unistrut that holds the tray, stuck in my back, and I've got a massive gash. I'll put a picture up there in my back. And
when you say massive gash, is it like?
It looks like a cat scratched him.
Yeah, like this.
You ready? Are you ready?
Probably just a sore ass crack, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not a sore ass crack.
Sam's ass crack. I imagine it like goes all the way up to like in between his shoulder blades.
You see that?
Yeah, seen that. It's not that bad.
So
no,
I've got that.
Not.
And this brings me on to my topic this week, and what I want to talk about is health and safety on site. Now I know that obviously you house basher types. Not like super hot on health and safety on site. Nick, I know that you're not going to work in really dusty environments and stuff like that without the appropriate PPE. And
you've got to with an apprentice. You got to give him everything and make him use it.
Oh yeah, I suppose you are pretty liable if you don't as well.
He's been given all the PPE, and if I catch him without it, it's made to wear it. Like there's no choice. I'm not having him going home coughing just on his dad, or 20 years down the line, he then accumulates something from having loft insulation. Like, if I don't want to do it, that's my bad, but he has to do it, otherwise he gets shouted at.
I've got another quick topic that I want to explore with you. Apprentices, right? Mm-hmm. Is it... So, I was a late starter for the electrical industry. So, I come into it at like 22. I've done all the apprentice stuff. Made tea, crawled through lofts, went out and got the drinks, all that sort of stuff. Nowadays, the last couple of apprentices I've been around, they don't do the horrible work. What's that about? Isn't that part of the course? Like,
not really.
I never done it, and I really regret that because I don't know how to put ladders on top of the roof. As soon as I see it, I'll be like, I'm not doing that. And then the guys have to do it for me. And I skipped out on all the hard stuff that an apprentice I feel like should be doing to learn. Like you said, like putting on a PPE, cleaning up, making teas. It just kind of teaches you that sort of discipline that if you skip out, it might make you a bit more cocky as an apprentice, if you know what I'm saying.
So
Yeah,
so hold on. My thing is, right, I'm under the floor with the apprentice, and I decide that I can't be bothered to go all the way under. So I sent the apprentice. That's kind of fair. I feel like that's fair. I've done my apprenticeship. You go and do that crap job. I'll be with you, but I'm not crawling all the way under there. That's a you job. Is that wrong?
Yes, no. Like with me, with that, I've tried to do everything. I wouldn't make him do something I wouldn't do, 100%. And he's obviously,
but I don't need to because I've got an apprentice.
No, I know that, and I've done the same thing with Ad a few times. Lead by example. Definitely, this is the way I want to work. With anyone works for me, like I will do it, and I'll do it the first time. You see how we do it, sort of thing. But the problem with Ad, he doesn't mind doing the crap jobs. If I just say to him, "Oh, can you just second fix this while I need to, go and sweep the garage out or something," he'd go, "Yeah." Like, he doesn't bother him. Work's work, no matter if it's stuck in a tiny cupboard. And best thing about Adam, he likes lofts.
What's your opinion, being the apprentice guru here?
I've seen the other side of it because I get a lot of messages from apprentices saying all I'm doing is making tea and sweeping up and I aren't getting to do any electrical work. So there are still people out there doing a lot of that, Sam. But I think it is like it builds you up into not just the trade, but just an acceptance of what you need to be doing. So the same, I would encourage apprentices to go off and make a round of drinks or go off down the end of a space that we're working in. But equally, I'd be happy to do that myself as well. Yeah, and sure that you do it yourself on occasions.
So I was doing it all day. They give me the apprentice at the end of the day. And I was like, "Mate, you've got the short straw. You're down there. I've done it all day." Apparently that's not okay anymore.
But did somebody say that to you at the workplace, or was that just people around saying that?
General consensus is that you don't give.
He's got to learn. Like,
what I think is like.
That's the thing. If the apprentice doesn't know what to do, and you're thirsty and you know what you're doing, I don't see the issue of going.
I just didn't want to go down there, if I'm honest. I'll tell the truth. I didn't fancy it. Been down there 100 times that day. My knees were sore. It's time for the apprentice to go down there. And I feel like that's perfectly justified. I don't feel like that's taking the piss. I feel like, when I was 22 and I was a cocky nightmare of a human, I still took it on the chin.
You haven't changed then?
No,
at all.
Like, imagine me 100 times worse.
Just don't want to make that imagination, to be honest.
No.
I used to just get on with if I was given a crap job, that was my job. I had to do it, and I'm like that now. The firm I'm working for. What do you mean?
What shit are you talking? I just get on with it. No, you don't. You go.
Yeah,
I'll do it in 5 minutes.
I still do it.
Oh, Nick, I've just been told to do this. My rights.
I heard how you made that cup of tea for your old bosses that peed you off. We heard that story. We're not going to repeat it again.
It was a made-up story.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't. Oh, sorry.
Never repeat that story, okay? But yeah, so I wanted to just broach that. But the other thing is health and safety in the workplace.
Wait, I want to share my apprentice story. Why can't I share what I wanted to say?
Did I do that? Was that one of my good decisions? Go on.
Okay, so I'm going to share about when I had my apprentice. So I had my favorite ever apprentice in the world, Charlie. He was the best, right? And obviously the experience that he had as an apprentice is that other people that would have him, because this was for a company, so the apprentices would get swapped around. And the thing is, nobody would let him do the work because they just felt like, oh, you're a bit too slow or a bit too this, or they just didn't want to let him give it a go and then mess it up, because social housing, I've told you guys what it's like. You've got about 10, 13 jobs every day to do. There's no time to tell the apprentice how to do anything. No. You literally just make them pass you the tools. That's it. And for me, because he was tall, he could just reach the ceiling without a ladder. So I was like, yeah, you can just do all the work. I loved it. So I let him do everything, just supervising him. And obviously, thinking about it, the other guys would have to do the tea making, the fetching the ladders, and all the other stuff. Whereas I used to let my apprentice actually do the work. And he personally said that he preferred, obviously, being able to actually do stuff and learn and,
It's loads better. This is the problem I have with catching. If I ask Adam, can you get the ladders? He can't pick them up because we've got the little giant ladders, which are like the fiberglass ones, are super heavy. He just can't move them. So
Wow.
Adam grabbed them and he looks at me like, oh, come
Wow.
on. We've got the Rhino clips as well. So the snap-on ones on top of the roof. You can never undo that. So he ends up getting the steps out to stand on the roof to do it all, where I can just reach it from the side. And he looks at me every time I say it and he goes, "No, fuck off," and just walks off. I'll do it then.
I'm a bit more lenient with my lady apprentices. I've had 2, and literally I'll just do the hard work because I don't know, maybe it's a sexist thing, but when
What
my
do you classify as a hard work, Kim?
hard work, oh, like getting your hands dirty, or like, let's say
Wow.
I was making safe sockets and it was after a leak and it's a bit wet and a bit rusty, I'll be like, don't worry, hon, I'll do it. And then she'll just have to stand there and pass the connector block for me, and I'll just make her watch. Whereas if it was the guy, I would probably just be like, yeah, you do that. I don't want to. Maybe that's just a bad stereotypical sexist thing I've got in my mind, but it's just how it's personally worked from observation. And I don't mean to do that. It's just how it's worked. So when I've worked with my lady apprentices, when I'm testing, I'll get her to get the notepad and write the stuff. Whereas when I was testing with Charlie, oh mate, he was doing everything. I was just there like loving this on the iPad. Like, yep, you do that. Charlie, do this, do that. And with the girl, it was just like, yeah. Anyways.
Kimmy, have you ever thought about doing something other than social housing to like broaden your skill set?
I do. I was doing a lot of private work. I worked on a building site. I worked on domestic building sites. I worked on a proper building site doing the SWA and stuff. I've done like bits and bobs like that, but I don't know, social housing has just always been just the most fun for me because it's like 50-50 electrical work, and the other bit is more like a social worker where you're just doing a lot of talking and like talking to tenants who are having mental breakdowns. Like the other day I had to change 5 fittings, pendants, but the girl was swinging off of them because she had like a mental illness, right? So she was pulling them off and swinging on it. So I had to be there for 2 hours changing the lights because every time she had a breakdown, we couldn't move her. So it was just sort of like, it's okay, sweetheart, but I'm getting paid to do these jobs that nobody else would want to do. But I love it.
You should charge more then.
Do you know what? If you
can't with social housing, that's the thing, because the contracts, I don't have the contract directly. I cannot set the prices. They work through a schedule of rates, which is a book, and everybody works of a standard percentage. So you have the code like 860501, which is a test. So standard price, it's £57. For MERS that have it, that's what the council pay. And then the subcontractor gets a price less, which is like £50. And then the person actually going on site doing the work probably gets like 35, 40, 50, depending on what contract. So that's sort of the rough prices. But the schedule of rates does not allow you to charge more than £100. And if you cannot match the schedule of rates, you cannot get the jobs, and somebody who can will get the jobs. That's just how it works, unfortunately. It makes no sense at all. So you cannot charge more for social housing work because there's just no room for charging more.
So if you really enjoy it, then that's, do you know what? If you really enjoy what you do, you're winning. That's, I'll call it hacking.
That's the thing, I enjoy it, but then this is why I've always had to have an extra job when I'm doing this sort of stuff. So at my last company, they told me, Kim, you do too much stuff outside of work. Because they used to track my van, and they used to see that I finished their jobs at 5 and I'll be out until like 11 doing my private jobs, and then I'll be coming in after a few hours of sleep and stuff. And they told me, Kim, you do too much. We just want you to concentrate on our work. And I told them, for £2,666 a month, after tax, that's 2,300, right? And I'm working all those hours, right? I'm not doing that. I can't pay my bills in London. My rent is £1,500 a month. On top of that, I've got to pay my car insurance, which for London, under 25 was £500 a month, right? And I'm left with no money. And I'm doing all these hours doing a job I enjoy, and I've got no money. Do you know what I mean? So I had to rely on my private jobs to pay my bills. But I was just doing a job I loved in the daytime. So it's just sort of like a sacrifice that I've had to do with my unfortunate sense of joy that comes from social housing. I don't know.
This is exactly the problem with a lot of these contractors that come through tendered systems. So they say they're seeking value and trying to get the best pound value for the users, but it just doesn't happen. There's too many layers of management between the contractors going to site and the people who are ordering the work. It's something that's, you know,
from the council, 4 or 5 layers until the job comes down to me. And obviously the guys at the top, so MERS, it's the big companies that you hear about in the news, was it 1.2 million contract? The guy's laughing, right? And then there's guys at the bottom like me who are offered like, was it if 150 divided by 4, that much for a cert, NIC cert?
Yeah, it's appalling. And then people will pull fault at the electricians like yourself who are going to do it, Kimmy, and that's just totally wrong because you enjoy doing it. You want to do that work, but it's not really fair that you can't make your own money on it because of the way the contracts are put into place. But that's something that the industry needs to look at. It isn't going to change, is it? The main contractors have got that nailed down, sewn up tight.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really tough.
Once these main contractors get the contracts, they hold them for 8 years. So once the council put out the tenders for another 8 years, that you cannot tap into that.
And it's always going to be a bit of a rigged system for you, isn't it? It's always going to be a rigged system with social housing.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate because when you even look at the state of the houses, they don't want to change a lot of the stuff, and you've got to go for so many loops to just get approval to change a pendant. And the pendant's hanging off and you can't replace it. So you're coming in to change a socket and you've got to tell the tenant, I can't do that. So you've got to book another appointment and then we'll get paid again to come out to replace that pendant that costs £2. And it makes us also the out of hours as well. I'm not allowed to replace parts. So they pay out of hours fee for me to come out, right? To take off the broken socket. I'm not allowed to replace it because it's just make safe only. And then in the morning, somebody else will come out and put a new socket on. So they're paying double money for a job that could be done less, but they don't. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But the thing is, unless everybody stops doing it cannot improve.
It's just another facet of the electrical industry that is a problem. As great as the electrical industry is, and let's be fair, every single one of us sitting here today is a fan of the electrical industry and what it's given us, because it's given us everything we have. Like we're electricians, it's how we earn our crust. But we can't go through life saying it's the greatest industry in the world when actually it's got a lot of problems. It's got a lot of problems.
You know what though? That's just listening to Kimmy there. There was been a compliance webinar through the IET this week where they spoke about competence in social housing, and it was a load of good intentioned people, I've got to say, but so far away from the coalface of what actually goes on, it's unreal. So you're not getting any real reflection of what competency looks like to social housing electricians. Listening to someone like Kimmy and getting those messages out there into the wider industry among some of these main contractors and CPS bodies is really important. So a platform like Monday Club is a great place to come and do that. And I think we need to be trying to repeat that message, spread it even further, and try and make people aware of what is actually going on.
I think, you know what? One other thing I want to add when you mentioned compliance, I've got a few social housing guys that I follow on Instagram as well, and when they post up their work, obviously I notice the bits that they do that I know other electricians like yourselves would immediately say that's wrong. So when we're putting up bathroom lights, we've literally got to be in and out as fast as we can. So this is just the thing that I'm going to say. Nobody puts grommets on it. Nobody ever puts grommets on anything. It's literally supposed to be IP rated, but it never is because there is no time to be messing around with grommets. We literally drill holes wherever it is, put it up. It's terrible. But the thing is, when you post the picture, because we have to do before and after pictures, none of the QSs ever say anything because they understand we do not have time to actually make it IP rated. As long as it looks IP rated to the office admin staff that are logging the job off, it doesn't make a difference to anybody. But the thing is, I'm putting up these bathroom lights and I'm expected not to be making it IP rated, but as long as it looks IP rated.
Yeah. I think with a lot of that as well with the bathroom lights, Adam said this to me, because most of the time you get the grommets or the bungs that come with the lights, the cheaper lights, they're crap anyway. A lot of the time I get customers give me, I bought one from B&Q. But most of the time, the bathrooms are above the regulation height out of zones anyway. So they were getting these fittings, and we fit them anyway because it's just good practice for us. We can have all the time in the world to mess around. And if not, we can stick some fire sealant or some silicone around it. But most of the time, any light...
That's obviously the warranty is void. And then you're having all these leaks. So I'm attending all these leaks that could have been prevented if it was done properly, but nobody puts any grommets. There's about 10 holes. Some of the people, because they don't want to take off the pendant, they'll literally drill a hole that big at the bottom of the bathroom light and just put it on top of it because there's no time to mess around. Just put it on, drill it up, and literally things like that every day, because you got to get through so many jobs.
They silicone around the outside.
There's no silicone on the outside. Just basically, you get the bathroom light, drill a hole with your little core drills like that, put it on top of the pendant, and it just looks fine on the outside. But when you take it off, it's literally like a huge hole with a few drill holes around it, and this is
the reality of social housing. Some of the other people on that webinar was saying how social housing doesn't need inspecting as often as private rental properties because it's on a higher level of maintenance. That's just not the reality of what's going on, and I think that's something that industry needs to tackle. There's so much money getting spent on all these different layers of management, all this illusion of compliance and that it's all rosy. It's a fantasy, isn't it? And electricians like Kimmy want paying properly to be able to go and do a decent job and look after these people. It wouldn't really need that much more money from government to do it. It just needs somebody to kind of get a hold of the whole thing, and strip it back a little bit.
I think you're absolutely right. I think if you stripped away the layers of management to like the bare minimum, and took the compliance away from the people, the admin staff that looks IP rated, come on, how would they ever know?
One little thing I saw. It's off Luke Witchard's My Trust Electrician. I saw a video ages ago, and I've done it once since. He had Luke is legend. He was fitting what we call a 2D fitting, so BT14, standard brown bathroom fitting, and he was like, "I never really trust it. I don't like the grommets and everything." And it was such a cool idea. It was literally 20mm hole in the back, stuffing gland the wrong way, so pointing straight up. Do yourself a 25mm hole in the ceiling. Give yourself some of the little whisker entry points if it's T&E or if it's flex, and it's a completely sealed unit. I was like, what a good idea.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. He's got quite a lot of good tips and tricks.
Again, you know what? If I put that on the material list for my social housing thing, they would ring me up and say, "What are you getting these for?"
Yeah,
because they watch all the materials as well. They'd be like, "What are you getting these for? What are you gonna be?" That's what we're not allowed to use. Wagos. Too expensive, right?
I'd end up, if I was you, and I know what I'm like, I would end up buying stuff privately and keeping it in the van and just using it on jobs just to help myself out, but not getting paid for it.
And imagine they're crying. They've got all these broken sockets, and because some of them are, like I said, very vulnerable. You've got kids that want to poke their fingers in, but we've been taught not to put blank plates, literally connector blocks, loads of tape. No one knows if that's okay or not, which I feel like it isn't. No. So normally I'll just be like, you know what? I'll pay for the socket. It's £2. I'm losing out on money. But I'll pay for it, even though no one will reimburse.
Like, how sad is that? That someone with a conscience has to pay out of their own pocket to
do the right thing.
It's funny because
working for government money.
I sometimes forget that this is not normal. This is not okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
no, it is okay, Kimmy. What it is perfectly okay.
It's okay in this industry, but I mean, like, to somebody outside of the social housing thing, that sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it does.
You know what? You can have all the fancy software at the top end doing compliance and stuff, churning out all these reports that tell you that the electricians aren't doing their job properly or whatever. But the reality is, the companies that are running it, the councils that are running it, the government quangos that are running it, the people like NIC, NAPIT that are meant to be there for checks and balances, really aren't doing their job properly.
Well, if you can't do the basics right, then they're not doing a good job. It needs to be restructured and done properly. The goal is to make someone's life safer and easier and compliant. And if it's being left and it's not, it needs to go back up the tiers and figure itself out, because it's shocking.
So I think the only thing that Stephen tried to do to tackle this is some of the contracts have put a limit to how many subcontractors the job can go through. So MID might say, oh, this contract, you can only subcontract it out once. And then some contracts will say you cannot subcontract it at all. It has to be an employee. So I've worked with a few companies like that who are not allowed to subcontract the work. They have to get the employee. But then what happens? Same thing. The price is still the same. The wage was actually less at that job for some reason. And you still have the same issue, because the guy at the top, he's buying his third house in the Caribbean and his second Tesla, whatever it is. And he's basically just taking the cut because he's providing the same wage that all the other social housing companies are providing, because it's the same job with the same description. So
I don't begrudge that guy for buying 2 Teslas and a third house in the Caribbean. I don't begrudge him.
That's okay.
That's his hustle. That's not the problem. The problem is the people.
Then I'm here asking for £2 for a socket to change for that woman whose kid keeps putting his fingers in everything because he's got autism and he doesn't know how to. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm here saying, "Okay, boss, can I have £2 for the socket?" And he's saying no.
I think the problem is that a lot of the local authority-led maintenance has ended now, hasn't it? It's kind of all been subcontracted out to big main contractors. They don't look after enough of it themselves. No, so like, you're giving that. You're giving that example, Sam, of some guy who's sat on an island with his Tesla and whatever. He's made that out of the public purse at the end of the day. If he was doing it in the private kind of area of the industry, then fair enough. But I think there has to be kind of a bit of a separation and a difference with public funds. I think Kimmy's story is really, really powerful. This is really, it's going right to the coalface of the industry and what's going on at social housing and electrical work. And it's not just going to be in the electrical industry; it'll be other industries as well, all the same. So to hear what's actually going on is a really, really powerful thing. And full credit to you, Kimmy, for speaking out and, giving your version of what's actually happening. Because everyone likes to pretend it's all been done properly. We're kind of picking up on these issues. It's good value for money. But it's not the case. You're seeing it every day, Kimmy, with those people. And we need to be listening to people like yourself.
You guys leave the house at 2 o'clock in the morning for that same wage that I'd get if I was leaving the house at 5 o'clock in the morning getting attacked by crackheads. You know what I mean? It's like...
It's the same... Yeah, you could tap it across to the EICRs and domestic with the landlords that I'm working for. The one that I said about the guy last episode or one before about having the smoke alarms. The quote was approved yesterday, so the woman's now got new smoke alarms. We're going to put in next week. And the problem is not all landlords, because some are absolutely fantastic. There's one I work for at the moment. She's got 3 properties, anything and everything. Nick, I want the report clean. I don't want any C2s or C3s or anything. But then you got some going, I want you to do what it needs to get done to get past, don't care about anything else.
Yep.
And you're like, this person has rented this house off you for 15 years. You've not spent a penny on it, mate. A penny, and you won't upgrade the fuse board or fix the downlights in the kitchen because there's one working. Oh, no, I can't afford it. What have you been doing with all your money? These people have been paying you top money. They've got an old kitchen, they've got an old bathroom. The old bathroom's still pink, the old porcelain pink ones. Yep. And there's guys are like, oh yeah, just one single socket in every room. It's extension. I wrote it down in the report. It's not fit for purpose at the moment. They're overpowered. I mean, in the back bedrooms, it's not. It's like TV, lower ampage appliances. But I'm trying to say to them, I was trying to help out and say, we need a couple of extra sockets put in this bedroom. It's a trip hazard. It's a fire hazard. But I can't fail that certificate, give it unsatisfactory, realistically to regulations, because as soon as you can unplug it, it's nothing to do with the part of the wiring. And I say to the landlord, no, he's fine. He's lived like it for 15 years. You know what I mean?
That really breakers.
It's a funny old thing. I think it's a really interesting topic. And, I hope someone out there is listening to it. Like someone in a position of authority that actually takes some sense from people like Kimmy who are on the coalface doing this work. People like yourself doing these EICRs. And the powerful thing about what you guys are doing, all 3 of you, is you can vocalize it in a way that resonates with other electricians and do it quite eloquently. And it's really nice to see. And it makes me quite proud, to be honest.
And we know what I like.
No, I like the fact Sam came up with a topic and we didn't speak about it at all.
Yeah.
That was the best bit of that section.
In fact. Well, and Sam was quiet nearly all the way through. It was magic.
Listen. I'm only
can I just want to talk about something just real quick? So yesterday, Kimmy, how are you? There we go. That's a good impression. 4 different conversations in one, and then he'll go, oh God, he fell for chair.
Listen, why are we mocking Sam again?
Oh, it's magic. He probably stormed off last week.
All right, man. Don't worry.
I did not storm off last week. Well, listen, let's talk about the subject that we had to edit out at the beginning.
Oh dear.
Just let's not say any names, and let's not say that vulgar phrase.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say that phrase, Kimmy, right? So don't just drop it. Yeah. So
the something pick. Just say it was a.
Oh, wait, we can't. Yeah. Listen, we need to broach this topic now.
Before you say anything, Sam, Kimmy, what's happened to you, believe it or not, has actually happened to me twice.
Oh, I love it.
I know, is this like that time where I was like, I got chased and attacked by everybody? And he was like, oh yeah.
No. It's exactly the same. Trust me.
You got A thingamajig
Yeah.
from a guy or women?
Right, hold on.
Guy.
Before we get too deep, let me say this. Guys, you know who you are, right? Kimmy the Spark isn't here to receive
Pictures of your flux capacitor. No,
No,
thanks.
wait,
God,
man,
what else she was
wait.
going to say there?
Wait. So Kimmy's not here to receive lewd and quite aggressive images, if I'm honest. Like angry. I would say it's angry. Listen, relax. I don't know if it's ever worked. It certainly hasn't worked for me. So let's stop it. Kimmy, what happened today, mate?
So Sam was on the phone to me, joking around, asking if that's ever happened. And I said, well, it's been not too bad. And as soon as he got off the phone, my phone just started ringing off. And it's like he unlocked this gateway of guys
It wasn't
who
me.
decided to literally send me pictures of their flux capacitors and full-blown
Glory.
up close glory. And sort of relating it to the electrical work. He was just like, oh, I'm a plasterer, so I seen you're a sparky. Well, here's the thingamajig. And it's like, it was
What
just
does that achieve?
nowhere.
But can I
And
say
I
something? Can I say something? If you're gonna send a picture, if it's like if it hurts you not to send it, please
Please give me a warning.
send a proper tool. Like
No, we're not condoning this.
Don't
Don't do
any.
it.
No.
Don't do
Don't
it
do
without
it.
people's consent
Don't do it.
because it's gross.
If
No
I
one
see
appreciates
I'd
it.
love
and
to
it never
see it.
worked.
That you send,
No.
but you just can't just drop that into conversations.
No.
And
Ask politely first.
Yeah, you can't just say. I had this when I first started YouTube. I've been doing it about 6 months, and someone made a homophobic comment about me and Adam. We laughed it off. It was a funny comment, but we didn't know, and I didn't realise it was actually from a gay guy, which was absolutely sound. I said, yeah, no problem. He followed me on Instagram, started messaging me. I was like, oh yeah, Sam, mate, what you do? And he's doing this, and it was really nice. Bang, out of nowhere, I got one. And I was like,
I haven't got one.
and I was like, what? I ignored it for a bit, and then I had to comment back. But the annoying time, every time you go on Instagram, it's just there looking at you, and I was like, don't really appreciate this. I can't remember what I said now. And then he went, oh no, sorry, I sent to the wrong person.
oh, actually, I've got loads of pics like that with this guy. He'll be talking about electrical stuff, genuinely like, oh, I saw your Monday Club, this and that. And it's an interesting topic. And because I'm on social media to be social with the followers, right? So I'm responding back, talking about literally electrical stuff. And out of nowhere, he sent me another picture like that. And he said, I didn't reply anything. And then he said, oh, sorry, that was by accident. And it clearly wasn't. How did you find that? Find my Instagram and send it to my chat by accident. And then you wait to see if I reply or not, and then you just come back with that. It was, yeah, I've had a few like
I've got
that.
to be honest, Kimmy, I was disappointed with that photo.
Sam,
Let's stop talking about
stop.
it.
No.
Sam's
I
rating it.
Yeah, Sam's got it on his
Sam's
wall.
upset because no one's sending him any. So if you want to send them, don't send them to me. Send them to
Send
Sam.
them to me.
Sam.
So, God, you're gonna get that. The WhatsApp.
Good score out of 10 and everything.
Literally
Yeah.
worse than the time I joined the circus, mate.
What? I had a customer do it ages ago, years and years ago, when I was actually in my prime and slim. This is what, 9 years ago. I think I've told this story before. The woman sort of like took a fancy into me, which was fine. Like, she was really pleasant. She just got out of divorce, moved into the country, put some outside lights on. It was baking hot summer. And this is what happens when I get hot. I always put vests on. But stupidly, when you get a suntan with a vest on, you look like an idiot when you take your top off. So I said to her, hope you didn't mind. Is it okay if I take my top off while I'm doing the outside lights? It was a white rendered wall. And you know what it's like, the glare and everything. So I put it on. No. And I was in a lot better shape back then anyway, so I'm not surprised. But I looked across and she took a picture of me out the window. And I saw it because I had my headphones in. And she tried to play it off cool. And I was like, I ignored it. It was like, whatever. And then she gave me a £50 tip on top of the job. I thought, oh, sweet. Well, fair enough. I take my top off more when I'm working outside. And then she texted me later. I said, give me a text later. Send me the picture of the lights when they're on at night. That's what I sort of normally do with all customers with outside lights.
Yeah, right.
And no, a picture of the lights, not of them. And yeah, she didn't take a picture of the lights. It was a picture of her. And I was like, oh, I was in the pub with my mates. Like, oh,
look at this, lads.
yeah. So what do I do? And I commented back saying, oh, not sure that was meant for me. And then she replied back, oh, yeah, sorry, I sent the wrong picture. And then about 15 minutes later, the picture of the lights came. And I was like, this is so awkward. Like, I never went back there again. Oh, God.
I've had something like that in real life as well, where I walked into the tenant's house and he just come out the shower, and I was like, I'm just here to do your cooker. And obviously I used to dress up really fancy on my jobs, like all this earrings and hair and makeup and stuff, right? So I walked in now.
So
I still wear my proper work trousers and proper uniform, right? So I walked in and he went to me, who are you? And I said, the electrician. He went, oh my God. And then he tried to move the cooker for me. And as he moved the cooker, his towel fell off, but he just kind of stood there. He just kind of stood there like, oh, I'm sorry about this. And I was like, oh my God. And I had a few instances like that. We just turn up and the guy's just still in his boxes. Like, sorry, I thought a guy was going to turn up. If I knew a girl was coming, I would have put some clothes on. But then I think, but would you not like dress a bit more appropriate for guys coming regardless, or anybody coming?
Listen, I turned up to a house when I was a young apprentice, social housing, and the dude come to the door butt naked. And I was like, well, don't know where to look. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? But my friend took over. Cool story, bro.
No, I've got one more. This was from not last week, but before. Adam, never seen him like, you know when someone laughs so much they're crying, but then they don't make any noise. They're just sat there going, like, stupid face. We did an EICR and it was really nice lady downstairs. The house was an absolute mess. I think she was Lithuanian. I think that's what it said on the report. She was really nice. Do you want a brew and everything like that? Stroking the dogs. I said, no, I'm all right. Like, fuse boards in the cellar. She showed us down there, banged my head on every bloody joist. I said, is there anyone else in the house? Can we go in every room? This is what we need to do. Yeah, no problem at all. I'll just be in the garden. And then she just went and had not a fag, let's put it that way, in the garden. And so I'm going around and said, Adam, you stay here. I'll just walk upstairs, mate. Just start taking some sockets off and whatnot. And so I'm not, I always do anyway. The doors are like slightly ajar. I'll always knock as I go in, get to the third bedroom, knocked. As you sort of go in, the door was already ajar. And there was just a guy, on his computer with the headphones in. He went ballistic at me. I had no idea what he said. Oh, you not knock? I was like, mate. First of all, did you not realise the power went off? Second of all, I knocked. Third, the lady downstairs said there was no one in, and he's pushing me out the room. But like, I didn't know where to look because he was like covering himself up with his laptop. And I said to Adam as I got downstairs, I told him, and he was like, "That is so funny. I'm just really happy it happened to you," because I nearly sent him upstairs to do the same thing.
Oh my God, imagine everyone doing that.
Awful. And I just, and then he just got his clothes on and left. But it wasn't her other half or anything. She must have like lented the room out or something. He just put his clothes on and walked off. And then I had awkwardly walked past him when I was coming back from the van with the iPad. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? One more quick story before I move on. Similar, yeah. I forgot about this. This was like a little hostel thing for young people. So it's basically like a studio flat where it's literally like the kitchen, the bed is right there, and it's like the size of a living room, right? And obviously the young people in there were having intercourse, right? And
not obviously.
Well, okay. Well, anyways, so the lady, she was like, "Hello, the electrician's here to change your light." So then the girl's like, "Okay, come in, right?" So I've come in now. The room's all like steamy and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And they're just laying there in bed, but they've got the cover on, like covering themselves up like this. And she's like, yeah, you can just change the light. So they're laying down in a single bed, right? Where it's like a little small room. And I'm changing the light in the bathroom. And then like everything went wrong on that job. Like my screwdriver kept popping. The light was just falling apart. The breaker tripped, this, that. I was like, oh my God. And the girl was just sort of laying there with the guy. And I was like trying not to look. And then my screwdriver dropped next to the bed. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just like the most awkward job ever. And the carer had to stay and watch as well. because they cannot leave me in the room alone with any of these vulnerable people. So it was like all 4 of us just in a little studio.
Stood there.
Sounds incredibly awkward. As is this next bit. Monday Club, we're out.
Oh, what? Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, I wanted to say one more thing.
Oh, Monday Club, we're back in. Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, don't be... I've lost the track now. Anyways, this was back to the pick thing. Don't be a...
Weirdo.
Be a kipper, which is a cool guy. There you go.
Yeah,
that's it.
Don't
We're out.
send Kimmy things that she don't want to see.
No, come on, guys.
You know what? One guy did send me something really lovely. He saw the Monday podcast that I like old buildings, and he sent me a few pictures of nice old buildings. That was a nice surprise. I opened it, and it's actually Big Ben, not like...
If you want to win Kimmy's heart, send her pictures of nice buildings. Other than that, relax.
And JCB tools. She loves them.
Oh my God, JCB tools. I love it.
Monday Club.
Now we're out.